Peregrine, also with Young Cultural Stewards in the Chicago Park District. Today we're going to be doing a little project to honor our ancestors, or the ones who came before us, and we'll be making salt dough bowls to offer some gifts to our ancestors.
Alright, so a couple of the materials you'll need for this workshop are some flour, a bowl for mixing, some salt, some water, Mod Podge for finishing it off, paint brushes, toothpicks for designing, food coloring for designing as well, and India ink or any other colored substances you have at home. Paint works as well. A cupcake tin to help us do the shapes of our bowls.
Alright, so to get started, we're going to take some flour, our salt, and the water. There's a lot of different ways that you can make salt dough. One way to do it is to do 2 parts flour, 2 parts salt, and 1 part water for more of a dry dough. You can also do 2 parts flour, 1 part salt, and 1 part water for more of a soft dough. So I'm going to use 2 parts flour to make a small bowl, about the same amount of salt, just eyeballing because this is how our ancestors did it, and then about 1 part of water. You can always just add more water to make it more wet, or you can add more salt to make it more dry. It really depends on how you want to work with the dough. Start to mix this together just to see the consistency of the dough. So I think I'm going to add a little bit more flour and a little bit more salt because I want more of a dry dough. This looks good. And you can mix it with a spoon or a stick, or just get your fingers in there. At this point, if you wanted to make a colorful dough, you could also add a few drops of food coloring. Once you have your dough formed, you're going to roll the dough up into a ball. This will help you get a sense of how big your bowl can be. So if I want to make a big bowl, I'll just use this whole ball. If I want to make a smaller bowl, like one of these cute little bowls that we made earlier, I might break this up into a smaller ball. So I'll roll it up like this, and I can start to pinch with my thumbs in towards the bottom of the bowl. Another way that you can make a bowl is to use the shape of a solid object. So this is where we're going to bring in the muffin tin or the cupcake tin. I'm just going to pat my dough ball flat and start to pinch it around the bottom of the muffin tin so that it can take the shape of one of these cups. So after this, you can either let these air dry for about a week until they're rock solid, or you could put them in the oven at 200 degrees for about 2 to 3 hours depending on how big your bowl is.
Another way to pinch your pot is to form a ball. Start pinching from the center, forming the outside of your pot. To make it more round, you can start with the dough like a snake and build it up like a spiral coil. I like deep pots so they have a base to stand on, and I can play around with the edges of the pot as well, defining my base, and then making the top thinner. Just pinching, making it thinner, defining that top. I like using a toothpick as well, and I am using this toothpick to start making marks on the pot to define the base a little better. So I'm just creating a fine line and drawing on the soft dough.
You can also use your toothpick to draw designs in your pot.
So here I have my pot, and I'm going to come in with my food coloring and India ink in a small brush. So start by dipping your brush in your food coloring, or if you have paint, you can use paint. And I'm just going to come in here and start doing little designs. So I like making really tiny natural marks and maybe mixing my colors in with other colors. I have some black in here. I like to take my time with this and sort of think about different designs I want to put on. Maybe I want to draw some leaves. Maybe I want to draw some grass. Or maybe I just do an abstract line that I continue. An abstract line that turns into a leaf. So you guys can think about what kind of designs you want on here. But what I like about these salt dough pots is that they take paint really well. So that's looking pretty good. I think I might leave that to dry and then I'll come back in and do some more details. The other thing that you can do with these is, while the pot is wet, you can embed some nature objects in it. So for example, I have here some dry leaves that I can take and I can sort of just press them into the pot.
So once you're done decorating, adding in your pressed leaves and flowers or painting, the last thing to do is to add your glaze. We're using an outdoor Mod Podge because some of these bowls are going to go outside. Just need a little bit of that on a paintbrush. And we're going to apply a thin layer all over the inside and the outside of the bowl. The Mod Podge is going to go on white, but it's going to dry pretty clear and will create a waterproof surface for your bowl so that you can have it hold any of your offerings for your ancestors. So I'm just finishing up glazing this bowl, which was dyed with a spice called turmeric, which is what gives it this beautiful orange and yellowy color. This bowl is already glazed and dry. We used full food coloring to color this one.
Alright, so as you can see, I have my bowl over here. It is painted with India ink, food coloring, and glazed with our glaze. And then inside I have a little plant, as I'm going to be using this as an offering for the plants. This is going to be my gratitude offering that I might leave somewhere. I also have this other bowl which I made, so this one was really fresh. I put colored tissue paper on top using our Mod Podge, and then I dipped it in sand. We would love to see what you guys created. For more, please check out @YoungCulturalStewards. Feel free to shoot us a message, find us on Facebook, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Thank you. Peace, y'all. Bye.